Hello and welcome to Blockchain Trends Live AMA Series, your source for everything blockchain and crypto. Hosted by Ray Service and Dragon. I'd like to welcome Mike B from Alpha Genesis to our community to discuss Alpha Genesis. Welcome to the Blockchain Trends community, man.
Thank you for having me. That was some entrance. That was some
Man.
Sure.
Definitely excited to talk. Definitely excited to talk with you guys and some of the innovation that y'all are bringing to the space. So yeah, I mean, I guess we can kick right into it. And I guess Dragon, if you want to just kind of go into a couple things, and then yeah, we'll just kind of ad lib it a little bit here and there, but roll with it.
Cool.
All right, man. Could you give us a general overview for the people who have never heard of Alpha Genesis before, just a little bit of how it works and your goals and visions?
Oof, that's a complex question because there's so many moving parts to what we have here. Basically, what you could do is take Alpha Genesis, right? Take that as a token as well. We're backed by our company's named Alpha 8 LLC, which is also a development company. We create smart contracts and whatnot. We developed a system we like to call it the Alpha Genesis universe of a bunch of NFTs that reward all of its holders weekly. And they're not just rewarding them in Alpha Genesis. We pay out in, I believe we're up to like 15 different tokens and coins now. Anywhere from Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum to, Cardano, Matic, XRP, the list goes on. But I think we're up to about 15 now in total. We have a BNB one also that pays out every week. So we've created this system where, being in this space for as long as I have, I've been in this space since about 2016, right? The biggest challenge for any project is keeping people interested and wanting to hold. That's the biggest thing, especially on the BSC side of things. I come from the ETH world, but BSC it's where we're at now, and we're going to be bridging to ETH. Actually, we're almost done with that layer. We're bridging to 6 different blockchains in total by the time it's all said and done. But so yeah. I mean, our philosophy was, let's give people something they can hold, how they're going to earn true passive income. Like, this is not, you see a lot of things nowadays. People say, oh, invest this money, we're going to give you 10,000% APY. Like, that's not sustainable. That's not a real thing, but what we do is, now this is, I believe we've been paying out rewards for 10 weeks total now. The past 2 weeks, and this is about to be the third week, where it's been over 20,000 total per week paid out to our holders. And again, that's in all different types of currencies, from our own native token to, like I said, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. So we're really filling people's pockets. And that's why, I was joking a little bit before, like we had a couple sell-offs today, right? And it's like, it's a rare occurrence to see on our chart, because not many people have seen a chart that looks like ours, where it's just constantly going up. Like, sure, we'll have a little sell-off, then it buys back up, because the system that we developed, sure, you have to hold a certain amount of Alpha Genesis tokens to collect your rewards, but we're rewarding our holders so well that there's no need for them to ever sell. Because, if they want to go get another project, they could just take the rewards on Friday, because Fridays are paydays. They could sell them. They could do whatever they want, or they could just diversify their portfolio by holding. Now if you collected every single one of our NFTs, I believe you'd be up to something like 15 different tokens and coins that you're collecting every week.
I mean, being able to provide rewards and a different actual token than what your token is, right? So, I mean, I can see that. How do y'all generate, so if someone buys something that's going to reward them in ETH, how is that ETH generated through the protocol?
So basically what we developed is a bucket system, right? And it's very simple. It's so say right now we have, what do we have on sale right now? We have the Alpha Genesis swap NFTs on sale, right? So that rewards every week in, Pancake Swap, Uniswap, and Sushi Swap tokens. So as those NFTs sell, right, anywhere from 85 to 90% of that direct money fills that one bucket that's meant for that pool. But now the rest of that overspill spills into all the other pools, and it continues to fill those as well. We actually just launched a brand new system called Alpha X, where you can now purchase DeFi projects with credit or debit with zero restrictions. It's probably the first in its class. We partnered up with Cure token on this, and it's something that we launched. We've already got as well as Cure and Poodle token launched on there, and we have a couple of bigger ones coming out. Notably, you know, I'll spill the beans a little bit, but Everrise, I've been in talks with them, and you know, talked to their legal department, and they're like right there. I'll never say it's a done deal until it's a done deal, but that also funnels the pools as well off of transaction fees that we collect off of that. I mean, we've developed yeah.
I mean, that's another brilliant concept of cryptocurrency, right? Is all these networks and like bring pretty much bringing utility to other tokens, like other tokens that don't have any other utilities, and y'all are able to partner with them and bring them into the space and give the, you know, so it actually builds y'all's network, because y'all can provide, you know, as other tokens grow and help them grow, then you can also provide rewards in their token, which benefits you and them and the whole crypto community in general. So I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, for sure. Collaboration is key in this space. It's, you know, people still consider it the Wild West. I was just talking to a guy who had sold our project, and I said to him, I said, "Hey, where are you going?" He said, "Well, I got a play I want to get in." I said, "Cool." I said, "But just keep in mind, like, and listen, people are free to do what they want, right? It's crypto. Do what you want to do. Just remember, though, like, when you forfeit your position in our project now, the way I think we've gone, like, I forgot what it was, 20x since our all-time low, or something crazy like that. Again, we have done no advertising yet. Very rare we even do an AMA. You know, I came on here with you guys. You know, usually I'm just talking to our community, because from when we started, I said, we don't advertise until we have a foundation, right? Until we know what we're doing. A lot of times you see these projects out there right away. Oh, we're going to throw X amount of money at advertising, and that's great and all, but can you handle the first dump of your project, or are you dead in 24 hours? See, we've built in safety measures for that. Like, for instance, we have an Alpha Genesis rewards card. What does that do? That pays every week in Alpha Genesis tokens. But it's better than that, because what we do is we buy into our own chart, right? So it's a huge buyback wallet, but it also rewards our holders in Alpha Genesis tokens, because our native tokenomics, we pay out in BUSD rewards, which is another one of those tokens that you collect, you know, throughout being with us. But so that's just another little bit of I don't want to call it a safety measure, but it builds a good floor, right? Because, you know, people want tokenomics still. They still want to collect a native token. And the one thing that we created that's so unique is, I guarantee you go into most Telegram groups, right? Everybody's just sitting there talking, oh, we're going to do this, when we're going to list on that. You know, our community's like, okay, when's the next NFT drop coming? When's the next way to earn passive income coming? And that's what we keep releasing to our members, to the world, pretty much, you know. And having Alpha Ape LLC as our parent company, which again creates smart contracts, staking contracts, does auditing and KYC, has a lot of partnerships on its own. I probably shouldn't say it this way, but we look at it as profit sharing. I know I'll probably get in trouble if the SEC comes, but whatever. I'm going to use it for this example. So say Alpha Ape LLC creates a contract for a project. And again, we don't work with anybody. We vet everybody that comes through. So we're not going to just make any old person a contract. Believe me, we've been offered. So say they come through, they want to get one. We tell them, okay, it's going to be $2,000 for the contract. Just hypothetical, just throwing it out there. Out of that $2,000, we'll subtract our operating cost. Say it's $500, like a normal business would do, right? So now we're down to $1,500. That $1,500 now gets thrown into our community LP pools, which those are our bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. So those are basically getting filled by a majority of our outside services that we sell. We might sell a service that's not even related to crypto and just do a website design. That pool is still getting filled as well. So we're creating, again, we want to give people as much passive income revenue stream that they can handle without having to sell our token, and actually buying more of our token to meet certain goals that they want to make. I mean, I'll just tell you straight out right now. There's a community member of ours that this week alone, last Friday rather, I'm sorry, made $7,000 in rewards. And I believe the week before that, he made over $11,000 in rewards. So yeah, he's a huge whale. He's bought into a lot of our NFTs, and you know, you got to take risks in this space, right? But he did it, and the returns he's getting are unreal. And that's only with 1,500 holders. And God only knows how many of them are actually, active holders, right? We know that somebody might have sold out and there's one token left in their wallet, so they're still considered a holder, right? But just think of when we actually start to reach the levels that we want to get to, how big those rewards are going to come, and just keep on pushing the train along. That's what we're all about.
Yeah, 100%. And I think what you touched on before is that you guys have like one of the most diverse NFT pools in the space. If I'm not mistaken, like you guys provide exposure to I'd say most blockchains within the ERC compatibility, EVM chains.
Yep.
And I really don't see anybody else doing that.
No, they definitely aren't. They will, but not
What?
yet. They definitely aren't, not yet.
I mean, not only are you providing passive income, but you're also providing exposure to, like you said, like over 15 different kinds of assets, which is really unseen in the space. And that's one of the parts of the project that one of the many parts of the project that actually piqued my interest when I was looking through all the documents and stuff like that, such as your white paper, your website. I actually stumbled upon your LLC website, and one of the issues that concerns me about passive income projects is sustainability. So my question is, as you said, with your whale investor makes $11,000 and $7,000 month after month.
That was week.
So how do you? Yeah. Oh, a week. Wow.
That was a week. Yeah.
That's crazy. So how do you provide returns like that while keeping the business sustainable?
Because honestly, right now, we have a very small company. I mean, when I say very small, there's actually 3 of us right now. Tony, he's sleeping now, but he's from Finland, right? He's our main developer. He develops all the smart contracts. A lot of them here know him personally. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And to be honest, it doesn't take much to live over in Finland. Me personally, I have multiple businesses. I'm not looking here to cash out and make money off of this at this current stage. My vision is always, talk to me in a year and we'll see where we're at then. And then I'll start making some money. And it won't be off the token. Like, I'll never sell the project. It'll be off of another service. So in the meantime, it's all about, again, like you said, building this to where our holders, because without holders and community members, any project is nothing. I've ran into so many projects that were just dead on arrival because they had great tech. Sure, they had great ideas, but they had zero community. And, I always tell my guys over there that it's like, I'm going to not be making money, but it's you guys that give me the strength. When you guys are excited, that gets me excited. And again, I'm blessed. I'm not wealthy. I'm not rich in any means, but I own businesses, so I support myself and my family. And Tony makes enough where, again, living in Finland, he could pay his bills. Right? He's doing okay. He's actually doing better than when he was way before we started the project. So it's all working out right now, and we'll always continue to develop, additional forms of revenue creators, whether it's, again, NFT sales, whether it's, Alpha X. Once that alone, I mean, the volume and the transaction fees on that alone, nobody's really done this. And again, I'm not going to take the full credit, because a big shout out to Jacob and the guys over at Cure, right? They really came up with something and then collaborated with us on it. And you can't go to any place right now and buy a DeFi project and have zero restrictions. I mean, legitimately, you go on Alpha X and you buy Alpha Genesis, Poodle, or Cure, right? You're buying it in seconds with your credit or debit card, no issues. So something pretty unique. And as that continues to grow, a steady dose of revenue will be coming in from that.
Is that like off-chain liquidity that y'all have with those guys? Is that what?
No. So basically, I'll touch on how. Yeah. So basically, how that works is any project that wants to onboard with us, right? We start. We do a very minimal fee to onboard, right? Because obviously we're in the beginning stages. So we just tell that whoever it is, they got to be KYC'd and audited by us. Right, just so we know exactly who we're dealing with. We don't charge much. It's about $750. You're not going to get a KYC and audit anywhere cheaper. I can guarantee you that. Plus, if you're already KYC and audited, it doesn't matter. Throw an extra one on there. It never hurts. So when you get onboarded, okay, there's only really one expense, and that's putting revenue in a funding wallet. So basically, when we launched our own token on AlphaX, right? We started with 10 BNB in the funding wallet, right? That quickly depleted. People were spending like crazy on credit cards, of course, which they would. So we had to continuously fill it for like the first day and a half, right? So I think we ended up putting like 35 BNB into there or something of that nature. But once the credit cards get processed, the money transitions over, usually within 24 to 48 hours, 48 hours being on the longer end, then we just redeposit the BNB back into that funding wallet, it's your wallet basically, right? So then you can now, okay, you might have put 10 BNB or you might have put 20 BNB in. You could pull it out and just leave 10 in there and just monitor it as it goes. So that's the real beauty of AlphaX and powered by Cure, is that we're technically not selling crypto. So we don't have to follow any of the regulations because we are just selling a service. We are swapping it for you. That's all we're doing. So we're not an exchange. It's basically a glorified fiat swap with zero restrictions.
And then y'all also have this like I don't know, the wallet, it holds about 65%. I guess y'all have that locked. And is that something y'all will be using like for rewards later on down the line, or for whenever y'all are bridging over to ETH maybe, or going over to other chains, y'all will be utilizing that?
Exactly. So
okay.
What we'll be doing is, so we're going to be doing something a little bit different than a lot of other people do. We're going to be bridging to all these chains with one shared LP pool. I know it's a little bit challenging. People say it can't be done. It can be done. Exactly.
It can totally be done.
Yeah. Some people will have the doubts, about this, that, or whatever, security wise, but we've beta tested a bunch of it. But yes, so all those tokens are dedicated for those chains, right? Because we don't know exactly what's going to take what. And then obviously whatever's not used will just be burned after the fact. I hated the fact starting with such a high supply anyway, but we had to do it just thinking that you never know, right? We don't know exactly how much we're going to put into the ETH side of things, or all the other chains that we're going to branch off to. So
or for exchanges and different things like that. So yeah,
for sure. And plus
Yep.
our staking. We offer staking, so we have to fill our staking contracts and stuff like that. So you need tokens, and they run out quick. Believe me, they start to run.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah, man, of course. And you also need that extra supply for staking too. A lot of people don't think to add enough supply for them to use later down the road, and then they end up having to relaunch the contract. So honestly, I see that as a good thing, having an access and supply, so that you guys can, say another chain comes out, like for example, Pulse Chain's coming out, it's expected later this year. Right, and me and Reg are big proponents of Pulse Chain. We're very in tune with Richard Hart. We talk a lot about Pulse Chain in this Telegram. Are you guys also planning to bridge on Pulse Chain?
Me personally, I haven't looked into it much. I've talked to a few people though, because you're not the first that have said it to me. So it's definitely something that piqued my interest. So it's something where if it can be done and it's like a demand for it, yes, we'll 100% be doing it. I mean, that's because, like, I said in the beginning, coming from the ETH world, right? Like, I have friends of mine that still haven't bought into this project for the fact that it's just on BSC. And they don't care that, I'm involved in whatever. It's because they will only deal with ETH. So, yeah, as long as the demand's there, for sure. Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
That absolutely makes sense. 100%. The demand has to be there, obviously, whether it's from the community or a potential, a potential almost marketing opportunity for you guys going on a different chain.
Exactly.
So I see you guys are just bridging to ETH. So right now you're on BSC. You're planning to go to ETH. So the rest of the chains are still up in the air. So what I've seen is that we're in August right now. Are you guys? So I read in your white paper that by the end of 2022, you guys are going to be on all chains. Are you guys still on track for that, or do you think it's going to take a little bit more time?
I think we're definitely on track for that because we're on the second layer of the ETH bridge now, and it's almost completed. I mean, the first was the hardest. right? So once you get that, there's 3 layers, obviously. So once we're done with layer 3, then the rest of them pretty much fall in line after that. So once this is done and then we kind of move on, I definitely see us making that goal for sure.
And then there'll be, I'm sure there'll all be EVM compatible chains that y'all are aiming to get on.
Correct. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, that makes 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
It's because like what I'll see a lot of people do is they'll test exposure on Ethereum for a while, and then they'll decide whether to go to cross chain again, depending on that. But it sounds like you guys are gonna take just go for the gusto on those chains and get it out by the end of the year.
For sure. Actually, I wanted to touch on one thing more about the staking before I forget. So
sure.
there's one thing that we put out, which is a diamond NFT reward, right? So if you're a diamond NFT member, we offered up 2 different staking options. One's pretty cool, right? So like normally, I mean, we do have your traditional stakes where you have to have a minimum and there's a penalty and whatnot if you pull it out. Actually, we're launching a brand new set of stakes that's coming out, I believe, end of this week, actually. But so if you're a diamond member, you can actually go in and there's like a hidden link to get to where you got to be. And you could actually stake and unstake at will with a 25% APY, right? So there's no, okay, I want to stake in here and then I'm going to pull out or I have to wait a year or 6 months or whatever. And I know some people are like, well, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Because to me, again, we have token requirements for our NFTs to get paid out in rewards. So if you are a diamond member now, you could stake your tokens for a week or 2 weeks, earn your APY, pull it out, and then now because you could still also, and I should backtrack on that a second, because you can actually still earn your rewards while being staked, right? So if you're staked, you're still going to get your rewards from your NFTs. And also we put out a 1 year 40% APY for diamond NFT members only, and that's your traditional stake, right? That's obviously if you break it early, there's a penalty and blah blah blah. But a lot more benefits with the diamond holders. You get access to an announcement channel that's strictly diamond hands. I mean, not diamond hands, diamond holders. We put out information there before we put it out into the public. Just gives you like that little bit of an edge to let you kind of like get in behind the scenes a little bit to like know what's going on, even though I'm the most open guy there is, because I can barely keep secrets.
NFTs made their wave of being special access, right? Like Bored Ape Yacht Club and things like that. So it's just great to see people utilizing NFTs and what NFTs are capable of, and and the fact y'all are also using the 1155 NFT, which is not just an ERC 721, it's an ERC 1155, which is a special type of NFT that allows even more type of utility within the NFT itself. And so it's good to see that y'all have taken the move to utilize these newer functions and these newer token standards that are available, and to me, and we've talked about this a lot, like NFTs are the future, and it's just about what can they do, what is the true utility, and it seems like y'all are hunting it down and finding a way to bridge the gap and really make way of what the utility of NFTs can really bring to the space.
Yeah, no, I mean that's definitely what it is. I think the times of JPEG art, while it was cool while it lasted, I don't know how long it's going to be around and people are going to be making all this money off of it. I hope they do. I never want to see anybody lose anything, but if you don't have some sort of utility right now, I mean, you're just sitting in there just waiting for when Moon, when Lambo.
Did I cut out there? Hello?
No, you're good. I hear you.
We're all good. Yeah, we hear you, Ray.
Yeah. So it's like, now that you're giving more utility to it, and the ultimate utility is making money, right? So now that we're giving all of these ways to earn passive income with these NFTs, granted, they're not the most sophisticated, they're not the best looking, but you know what? They do the trick. They get you paid every Friday, and that's the most important thing.
Oh, 100%. And, I was looking at your chart, and first when Adam mentioned to me, was the first person who mentioned Alpha Genesis to me personally. The first thing I saw was your chart and how it was basically up and to the right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was like, what is their strategy? And I think this strategy of staking is really working for you guys, and the strategy of having to like hold tokens to as well as holding the NFTs to have access to the funds is genius in my opinion. I love that. Like, and it
Yeah,
really incentivizes holders like long term, and taking that sacrifice internally, right? Because you guys are probably making really slim margins to pay this out, but that's only going to be in the beginning. Once you guys scale up, right, those sacrifices now will pay off.
for sure.
I have a feeling, right?
Absolutely, they will. Yep, definitely. And like, somebody just sold a ton of Alpha Genesis, but you know what? It's okay. At the end of the day, to me, we've been there, we've done that, we've come around, we've moved back around. And like you said, seeing that chart continuously go on that upward right momentum, like it can't happen. It can't continue to happen because people, what they're going to do is now they have to sell off, they have to move on, right? For other investors to now come in and just continually working that space. That's how any of these crypto projects survive.
Oh, absolutely, right? I mean, the price you pay for the world's highest performing asset class is volatility. And whenever people, you never know what people are going to sell for. Whenever they have more money than they've ever had, and whether or not if they held it for another year, it's fucking 10,000, 10 million instead of 100,000. I mean, they'll look back and they might regret it, or maybe they made it. It's a free market, and that's what it's all about. Building that community, building that trust within your community, and being able to utilize DeFi protocols that make sense to obtain financial sovereignty. There's no middlemen involved in crypto. It's a beautiful thing that's occurring as more and more people are adopting into the space, and more projects are becoming legit and coming up with unique ideas to keep people intrigued and to continue to grow within the space.
Exactly. To me, and you're right. And to me, there's been so many people that have come back to us like, damn, I shouldn't have sold. And I said, yeah, hey, listen, the person who just sold that stack, you're right. Maybe it's the most money they've ever seen in their life. And guess what? They made their money and they decided to go elsewhere. When you come back in, that's on you. That's up to you whenever you decide to come back.
10x later, right? But it happens.
Please.
I was buying Bitcoin at $8, and I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. And another thing too is it's more about how can you survive things like this, right? How can you recover? How can you move back? And again, there's no way that you can continuously have the trajectory that we had. It's just physically impossible. You can't turn around and continue to go up on that big trend like that. You're going to have people that want to sell off. They're going to want to make their money. They're going to want to go. And the thing that gets to me is that it's like, you might have sold now, and I get it, right? If you got to sell and you got to do something. But I just hope that these people don't sell going to Trace a Green Candle or a room or somewhere else, because that's how you get burnt in this space. And I know, because I've done it myself.
100%. 100%.
I think we've all gotten burned by a shitcoin once or twice, gotten rug pulled, and it's definitely not a great feeling. 100%.
Yeah, we don't hold very many AMAs. We do a lot of vetting. We hang out with the community to see what the community vibe is. I mean, that's that. It's all about networking. Yeah, I mean, your net worth can only last so long, but your network is what it's all about. And like with what y'all are doing and y'all's actual, selling the NFTs and being able to network with all these different people, man, it's the genius behind it all.
For sure. That's how you have to do it. You have to form collaborations. You have to continue moving on. And, do I think that possibly that was the last sell? No. Right. I mean, this is what happens. People, and then somebody will panic and somebody else will sell and it'll happen again. And that's just how we are. And if you're new to this space, and I get it, right? You see people, drop a chart like that and blah, blah, blah. And next thing you know, they want to cash out. But that's what panic selling is about. And people don't understand it. And that's how whales always can, manipulate the markets, right? They sell off, hoping you'll sell off, and they rebuy back in to now retimes their bag even more. So it's just basic investing
Absolutely, yeah,
101,
absolutely. Just
honestly.
yep, whale manipulation at its finest.
Yeah, exactly. But it is what it is. What are you gonna do?
Well, I mean, you
Yeah,
inform well, that
exactly.
like you're doing right now. I mean, you're informing your community. You're letting these guys, hey, it's well manipulation. It might be another project that got that is now wanting to do something, and who knows, trying to harm the project. You have benevolent wells, and then there'll always be the malicious ones. But it's all about weeding in and out good people as you bring in good people with your network, and they replace each other, and you just keep building upon that momentum.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you can't sit back. You cannot sit back and expect that people aren't going to sell and do what they got to do. It's just unrealistic goal. And people, I always say, like, if you want to sell, right, you sell as a gentleman. You do it, a lady or a gentleman, right? You do it respectively, because especially a smaller community like us, right? We have, I think, 1,500 holders, right, which is nothing. Like I spoke on this earlier, that some of them are probably dust tokens left over in somebody's wallet. But you know people have to watch out for the greed in this space, because a person that would just sell like that, why not space it out a little bit? Why not sell a couple B&B here, do it here, right? I get it, emergencies happen, or people, but it's like, the money's not on fire, man. It's not running away. People that have known us for this long, like, they know we're not running away. And I challenge anybody. I will put up $20,000 challenge out there that you cannot find another project with as much stuff as we have going on than anybody else out there. That's a guarantee. Guarantee. You can't do it. I'll put 20 grand on it right now that says nobody else has what we have going with the NFTs and everything else. So
Hey man, this is going on YouTube, so
Yeah, right.
no, I'm kidding. Yeah, right.
no, do it.
Yeah, it's
I
definitely
welcome the
exciting.
challenge. I welcome it.
Okay.
Because right now, you know why?
That's
Because
man.
I know
great.
there's only a couple projects that I know that can actually do straight DeFi for crypto, for credit card and debit card, and they're on our platform. So I mean, that's one that tops a lot of them, right? And then obviously rewarding all of our members in so many different tokens.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm not even worried about the dumps. You know why? Because they're a part of launching a token. Right.
Correct.
I mean, your chart can only go so high for so long without somebody, on the sell button, right? They see, they see ridiculous amount of money, like like you said, like as much money as they've seen in their life. And I've made the mistake of not selling my assets
Me
at
too.
the right
Me
time.
too.
Like, right?
Sure.
I mean, everybody
Yes.
has, but it's just about like leaving that moon bag that's most important. Especially as a core holder, those earliest holders are like your core holders, and keeping those people is probably one of the most important things that you do as a token owner and a business owner, is keeping your original owners and your community right there, tight knit and engaged throughout every aspect of your business, right? Because a lot of people don't make their token a product of a business and keep those separate. I see projects, right? They put their token and their business together, but you guys separate that. So you have your LLC and your tokens a part of that. And eventually, when you guys break ties from this initial phase, that'll really help your sustainability.
Hey, this business model sounds something familiar, right, Dragon?
Oh, 100%.
So I had somebody DM me, because everybody's always watching the wallets, right? So this person bought in 16 days ago. They bought in with 20 BNB. They made their 17 and they exited. Nothing wrong with that at the end of the day. I mean, you can't, people have different goals in life at the end of the day. Do I personally think that if you want an exit, there's a proper way to do it? Yeah, of course there is, right? But we all know this is DeFi. We all know that people think that the rug is going to get pulled out every second of every day, which that's not true with us, because the people that know us know that we're not going anywhere. Like, I'm verified on Twitter. We have a huge deal coming up with a bunch of retired NFL players to launch a project called Fancentric. That's a whole other topic that's going to be incorporated into our Alpha Genesis universe. Like, there's just so much stuff. So people, uneducated investors, I want to say, that don't take the time to read our Git book, go through everything, and they're just looking to make a quick 17 BNB. I don't even know what that is right now. What is that actually? Let me see. What are we sitting at? 17 times 25. You want to make a quick $5,000 profit, I guess? Okay, that's cool. That's not changing my life. That's not changing a lot of people's lives. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, it will change some people's lives, right? Especially if you're not from the US and whatever. But to me, it's more about, if you think that you could take that money, and I get it, right? If it's an emergency or something, and
You
God
want that
forbid something happened.
generational wealth. I mean,
Yeah,
you want
like,
8 zeros behind that cell.
Yeah, you entered in here, right? Like, that's the one thing I never really understood about, the whole space. And I'm sure you guys have seen it too a bunch, right? It's like, you have these other projects and it's so funny. And I said it to our community the other day. I said, there was a huge reason why we didn't have a huge red candle the day we got listed on CoinMarketCap. And they're like, why? I said, because us as a team, we don't sell our token. And you see that a lot, right? You wonder why there's always those big red candles after a project is listed on CoinMarketCap. And believe it or not, it's those team members dumping away, right? Not all of them, but some early investors do get out as well. But that's a big, big thing too, because nowadays a lot of projects, that's all they look forward to, is when are we going to get listed on CoinMarketCap? I can say this, that without giving too much away, that we were approached by something that this space looks on very, very like a dream, right? They reached out to us, and we are actually going to be working on getting listed on them. It is a centralized exchange. It's a very, very big one. That's all I'm going to kind of say, and I'll throw another hint out there. It's the fact that we've sold so much money on the BSC side of things in NFTs. You got to remember something. The BSC side for NFTs doesn't do a quarter of the revenue that we've been doing on it, right? So
I can only imagine.
Certain people's APIs pick that up, right? If you can catch where I'm going, blah, blah, blah. And that's kind of where we're sitting right now, without letting too much out of the bag.
That's fucking incredible. Pardon my language.
Yeah, I catch your drift. Yeah, that's really awesome. Yeah, that's the basically 8 now, right? Yeah, man. That's great for you guys.
Listen, all I know is that it would have normally never happened if it wasn't for a new program that's being launched. And we basically it was one of those things where you get a message and you think it's a scam, right? And it's all BS. And then when you actually look into it and you find out that it's not, it's like you just won the lottery.
It's like a dream come true, because I know a lot of people, in that, sex arena that you were hitting towards, that actually got a scam email,
Oh yeah.
And
for sure.
it's unfortunate.
But, no. Definitely.
That's great. That's great that you guys are able to take that opportunity and do that. That's like the dream of any token, to be able to do that.
Don't get me wrong. It's scary as shit too, by the way.
I'm
not
sure.
Like, it's not like, they say, people dream for certain things and certain, me, I'm always that guy where it's like, I don't really want to get there right that quick, but there's certain things you just can't turn away either, right? You got to look out for what's best for us, and you don't turn these type of offers away. Never. I would have to quit this space. I would have to quit this space if I turned it away. Period. You would just never see me again. But we'll be releasing more stuff like that. But obviously, I can't say exactly what it is because it'll void the whole contract. But there's a lot of big things coming, and it's just people like this. They don't listen. They don't educate themselves on the project they're in, and that's cool. That's great, because now other people have an opportunity to come in, because I'll touch on what you guys kept saying. It is not sustainable the way our chart was going. It's just not, that's just the way it is. So, You know, I mean, you got somebody just bought $250 worth of mystery boxes. So, I mean, to
Wow.
us, that's, you know, that's what I mean. The NFT side of things. If you do the math, right? We've been paying out. I don't have a total calculation of how much we've sold in NFTs, which I should actually, but we've been paying out for 10 weeks. The past 2 weeks have been well over 20,000 per week. We're on pace to go even higher this week, this Friday. So right then and there, just for those 3 weeks alone, that's over 60K in 3 weeks worth of BSC NFTs. Nobody is doing that. Nobody's doing that. So that's one of the things where I attribute a lot to why these offers came from where they came from, and what they've been looking at. So the people that are here, listening in, listen, I know everybody panics when they see a big sale. Most of you guys know me for a very, very long time. I told you I'll never be quitting this space because the dreams are too big. We got too much invested, too much time invested, and this space needs the collaborations that we formed, the partnerships that we formed. And that's how you're really going to succeed in this space, is by doing that. Not this old, Wild West cowboy stuff where it's like, oh, don't you come in here talking about another project. Like, no, we actually buy into other projects' charts. That's what our DeFi NFT is. We buy into Peach Folio, Poodle, and Cure Token, right? We bought into their charts alone last week, I think over $1,000 each token, right? So that's helping their chart. And there's going to be more of those, right? There's going to be more projects that we, release as another DeFi NFT coming up down the line. So, it's just that type of thing that we got to keep doing.
100%. And one other thing I wanted to touch on was is all of your NFT rewards, like accounting, is that all on chain?
Yes.
That's great, because I know other NFT projects that they have to utilize an off-chain solution, and it's great to be able to see that on-chain, because that just makes it so much easier to list on other NFT exchanges like OpenSea, Coinbase NFTs, stuff like that. And and that's kind of some, like, most of the hiccups when it comes to off-chain accounting, which it's a pain in the ass to do, really, if it's off-chain.
For sure.
So it's great. It's great to hear that your accounting is on chain, and I'm sure that the person that we won't speak of approached you about what.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so we have our own. Obviously, we have our own NFT marketplace, but we haven't launched it yet because we've been using a solution that's working fine, which is the Niftify website. I mean, we've been using it. We've just been going along with it, and I have a feeling that's owned by somebody too, which also definitely put a big bug in somebody's ear for sure. But that's it's done right. I'm always a fan. If you don't have to recreate the wheel, don't do it, right? So.
Oh, 100%. So yeah, I was. That's great to hear that all your metrics are on chain. I was looking at the liquidity pool ratio to the market cap ratio, and it's quite low. Could you explain your thinking on that,
it's more for the off chain, the bridging to the different chains. That's kind of where it is. Obviously, to me, it's like so many people talk market cap, right? And to me, toss it out the window. It doesn't matter. I mean,
market cap. No. Market cap is an irrelevant scenario. 100%. Market cap means absolutely nothing. When you're talking about economic energy in a protocol that you're invested in, it's the liquidity. Period.
Yes, exactly. And to me, it's like I was involved in a project that had $1 billion market cap at one point, and it was a very successful project, but people still couldn't sell 50 grand worth. I mean, listen, and that's why a lot of these, these other call channels, right? They won't take a project that's got a high market cap because they want to call it at a certain market cap and say, oh, look at 10x to this, right? But meanwhile, they have 5 BNB in their LP pool. So, like you said, it's not relevant, right? I mean, it's all about what is it worth if you tried to cash out right now, right? Like if you tried to cash out right now, could you?
Like right now, like if you buy Bitcoin right now, for every $1, the market cap goes up $20. If you buy a
Exactly.
if you bought Hex right now, and for each dollar, the market cap goes up $1,000. So just let
Yeah,
you know, it's a not needed metric.
exactly. Exactly. So to me, it's not even, it's something, you know, people always ask the same thing. And I'm like, yeah, it is what it is. You know, what are we going to do?
Yeah, that's great to hear. Yeah, liquidity pool
People will
is
learn.
the economic energy, right? You know, people
Hmm.
look at market caps and because you know the biggest platform for tokens is CoinMarketCap, right? Literally
Yes.
in the name, market cap,
Hmm.
right? That's like the big lie that people sell, right? Like, SafeMoon got to a billion market cap, for example. Well, NG
Yep.
is the biggest token, and it didn't have nearly that amount in its liquidity pool. I'll tell you that right now.
No, hell
So,
no. No way. That's why people, you know, I've been in this space so long, and I don't mean to laugh at it, but it's kind of like, if you're basing this off of, you know, a market cap, like, man, listen, you got to go do something else. You got to look at the liquidity pools. That's where it all boils down to.
That's it, man.
oh, 100,
Yeah,
100%.
that's one thing that the guy launching Pulse Chain touches on. He put a mockery to market cap.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure, for sure. So,
All right, man. So
That's
we're at
awesome,
about the
man.
50-minute mark. Um,
yeah.
so I'd like to open it up for anybody that may have questions in the community that's listening with us today. And if you're listening on YouTube, feel free to pop any questions in the description on our YouTube channel, and I'll forward that right to Mike.
Yeah, definitely hit me with them.
All right, so I'm going to open up the floor to the community. If you have any questions, feel free to speak up. Everybody's unmuted. Don't be shy.
Oh,
I,
love
I
it.
got more of a comment than a question, but yeah, I was the one who had mentioned it first to Dragon. That Jonathan actually had mentioned this project to me, and I checked it out. And I was like, wow, look at that chart. And I live in this. I'm torn between these two worlds where I'm on the one hand I am an irredeemable shitcoiner, but on the
Hmm.
other hand I am always looking for projects that are good long-term holds, and there just hasn't been a lot of the good ones in this market. So I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, oh, it looks so good, but I wish I was the guy who bought way down and to the left. It's like there's so many X's already. So when I see whatever that whale did right there, which I don't know if that's somebody disgruntled for some reason to do it right during your AMA, that was disrespectful. But you know what?
I
That's the
don't
entry
care.
I'm looking
At the
for.
end of the day, I'm a grown ass man.
Yeah.
I have 4 kids. I'm 42 years old. Like, if you think selling if you took a $5,000 profit while I was on an AMA and you think it's going to hurt my feelings, you got another thing coming. I mean, that's like, sure, do I feel for the community? Yeah, because you're like, oh, there goes my bag. But again, I look at it as this: if that's how you feel, right? If you see, because you see a couple big sell-offs that you have to now exit the project because of it, then you shouldn't have. I mean, you shouldn't be here. Rather, I should say. You know what I mean? Like, then you should just. I don't want to see you leave, but kind of come back around. We'll see you then.
Yep, but yeah, I'm at work right now. I'm trying to wrap this up quickly so I can get over to get over to my wallet because yeah, this is what I was waiting for. But
Hmm.
yeah,
Oh, I'm
no, I
sure there's
love the
been a lot of
project,
people.
and
This thing's gonna absolutely fly. But what's the liquidity at right now? 180K, 200K.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
You
I mean
buy
it's
Four
still it's
fifty.
it's like
is this
300K,
Yeah.
according to
this
Dex Tools.
yeah
I have it up right now.
so
It's
so
so
many
guys,
X's,
it's a great
so
dip
many
right now. It
yeah
may dip
it's a great
lower,
time to
right?
get
I'm
in.
not promising this is the best entry in the world, but it's certainly better than it was, you know, what was it, 4 hours ago? Say.
Hmm. Oh, I've
So,
been waiting for this. I thought for sure this would have happened a week ago because we've been on a steady increase for
oh yeah.
a month almost, like, or whatever. So it's
Right.
like, I'm surprised it took this long.
I
But
mean,
whatever.
it does suck in the short term, but it does provide, newcomers a better opportunity to invest.
Mhm.
You know, that's the way you have to look at it. In this
100%.
space. It provides newcomers that listen to this AMA, that you talk to on the street, you know, to get a better entry, and from there they can share that experience with everybody else.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
Always
Absolutely.
DCA. You know, you always DCA. You know, DCA
Yeah,
is never
yeah,
going to lead you wrong.
absolutely. And we're also going to be we're retworking some of our community pools. New totals will be released pretty soon on that one. So just keep holding and keep getting the rewards, man. That's the only thing, you know. If you don't have the long term, I mean, we built this for a bear market, right? We built this for you to collect as many tokens in different projects as possible. So when the bull market does come back around, those tokens that you've been saving are now are way more than what you got them for. So, like me, guess what we'll be doing? We'll be buying up our own dip to fill our Alpha Genesis community pool, right? That gets airdropped to our holders on Friday. So don't be surprised if you see a bunch of big buys come in, because that's what we do. That's what we do, and it's okay. You know, we'll recover from it. It's not a big deal. It really isn't. Sure, it sucks. Yeah, nobody wants to see a big red candle, but we've seen them before. Scroll back, you'll see one big one right before we got listed on CoinMarketCap, and that guy wanted to jump off a building. So it is what it is. But you listen, guys, I really appreciate you having me here. You're welcome anytime.
Sorry, mate,
Come
I've
on
got
over.
one question, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
So basically, did you have a pre-sale like before the launch?
Yes, we did.
How big pre-sale was it?
200 BNB. It all
Okay,
went in.
okay.
We didn't keep any of it. It all went in.
And did you have like product ready before launch?
The product itself?
Yeah.
No. We've been building as we've been going. New ideas happen. New ideas happen, and we just continue making them.
So you had a website and you had ideas, you had a roadmap. So yeah.
I mean,
you didn't have any.
we had an idea of it, yes, but the whole creating the whole multiple NFTs to come into to you know to give those rewards, that kind of evolved over time. So we had an idea of what was going to happen.
So when you launched, when you had a pre-sale, did you have like some utility to offer straight away to the people, like staking? You had a staking, right?
Well, yeah, people knew us coming from obviously the Alpha Ape LLC portion, so they knew we would have all those utilities.
Okay.
So they, yeah, absolutely, for sure.
All right, thank you.
For sure, absolutely. So.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'd like to personally thank you for coming on the show today for today's AMA. I know there's a lot of our community members that really appreciate you coming out and explaining a little bit more what's behind Alpha Genesis, and I really do like your sincere and genuine attitude towards
100%.
and transparent attitude.
I'm a grown ass man.
I'm a grown, like I said.
That's right.
I know.
New
That's
York.
great. No,
Like,
yeah, I loved
listen,
it.
I'm
I love
a
that
grown-ass man
attitude.
from New York, right? If you come at me and think that, $5,000 is going to hurt, the grand scheme of things,
Right.
it's not. It's not, man. Like, we've been doing this
Come
too
on,
long.
buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
No,
all right.
I jumped in. I think it was last night or the night before. I jumped in y'all's community and was hanging out and was speaking with another gentleman. I think he's in here. Well, Jonathan won, and then what was his name? Charles Stackhouse. No, it was Stackhouse.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. Y'all have a great
all
community,
great
man.
people. All great people, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. Amazing.
and so that's why I'm not worried about this. We've overcome a lot, and this is just not even. It's not even anything to overcome, to be honest with you. If I had to throw 50 BNB myself right now, I'll just do it. And they all know. Like, I've done. Like, people know that as an owner, like, I've spent way more money. Obviously, not just time, but financially. Right? You have to have reserves set to handle certain things like this. Which that's why a lot of projects fail, because they don't have those reserves. So if you don't think I have enough
They're 22-year-old kids with no business experience that have never done anything before, that all of a sudden make a lot of money or to attempt to do something, and then everything just fails and fumbles because they really have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why you truly have to, if you're going to do this, you have to think about it. Like, if I couldn't have enough to rectify a 30 BNB sell off or a 50 or even 100 BNB sell off, I shouldn't be in this space. If you're looking at it like a legitimate business, right? You have to have that business mindset to where, like,
Exactly.
our reward system is already filled for the next week and a half. So like we plan ahead, like we don't dump all of the money into the rewards every single day or every single week. That's not thinking ahead. We're always thinking a month, 2, 3 months down the line. So you got to have that in order to succeed.
Yeah, it's got to be
So
sustainable. Yeah, sustainable
has to be
business model, man.
sustainable. Exactly. Exactly. So appreciate you guys, man.
Awesome, man. Absolutely.
yes.
It's been a great AMA.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah,
Anytime.
man.
I'll come back
Just-
anytime you want.
Just one final
Absolutely,
shout out to
dude.
Jonathan to setting this whole thing up and bringing your project to us. We thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you very
Yes.
much, man.
Jono.
For this episode,
Yeah.
and having us all come together. So hopefully we continue to work together into the future. And
Mhm.
for people listening, if you think this is a bump and dump, please stay away from this project. We're here for
Yes.
life-changing, generational wealth. That's what we're here
Yes.
for. So if you're about that, please join us. If you're not, please stay away. Thank you.
Yeah. Good. That's a great point, honestly. You're right.
Better
You're
be
In
that.
absolutely
Nova
right.
Telegram, just to mention, in Nova Telegram, we don't have really like community, the active community. We're actually looking for some decent projects. So we're not here for 2-3x. You know what I mean?
No, no. And you know what? As
We've
me, I
been
always look.
through.
Anything that
We've been. I've
anything
been
that
through
we
myself.
promote.
I,
Yeah.
yeah, I've been through myself through the 100x. I was holding 750K and I didn't sell. So this is me.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
And that's why
Right.
another thing I'll leave on this is that, you know, I always, you know, even creating a project, you got to look at everything as an investor, right? I'm the investor. I'm not really a part of the project. That's where I think with my mentality. So I think, what will other investors want? Right? I'm not thinking about myself. I'm thinking of myself as a normal person coming in the community, buying into a project. And if you could tell me I can make passive income of $500, $600 to $1,000 per week, just holding some tokens in an NFT, sign me up all day long. Sign me up, and I'll take it every day.
Exactly. Sign me up too.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah,
all right, guys, man,
absolutely.
thank you very
Awesome
much. I'm gonna
stuff.
head on out.
Thank you,
and,
man.
talk to you
Yeah,
soon.
cheers.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. So for our listeners on YouTube, tell us what you think in the comments below. What you think of Alpha Genesis? And if you have had any questions while listening to this AMA, pop them in the comments. We'll forward it right to Mike, and we'll get you an answer. Thanks for listening.
Appreciate it, fellas. Y'all have a good day.